Hey everyone, welcome. Today, we're going to decode a piece of wisdom that's 2,500 years old. And what we're going to find is that its most powerful secrets aren't just in what the words mean, but in what they're literally made of. This is going to be fun.
You know that feeling, right? You read these ancient texts and you get the gist, but it feels like there's something more, something powerful that's just locked away behind the words. Well, what if I told you the key to unlocking it isn't just about the definition, but about digging down to the very roots of the words themselves? So, the text we're diving into is called the Araṇavibhaṅgasutta. I know, it's a mouthful, but don't worry about the name. Just think of it less like some dusty old scripture and more like a super practical, step-by-step guide for living a life with way less conflict. Now, to really crack this code, we're using a pretty cool three-step method. First, we'll look at the normal, modern translation that you might find anywhere. Then, we're gonna go way deeper with a root meaning translation. And finally, this is the best part. We'll turn that into a visual translation, something that makes the advice so clear it's impossible to forget. And the secret weapon for that second step is this ancient idea called niruti. Basically, it's all about getting to the absolute core of a word, like its linguistic DNA. This is our master key for everything we're about to unlock. All right, let's jump in. The very first key to this code is about how we talk, specifically how we talk about other people, and even how we talk about ourselves. The text gives us two really important Pali words to look at, usadana and apasadana. Now, on the surface, their standard translations seem pretty simple. But their real power, their real meaning, is hiding just underneath. They actually describe how our words can literally, physically shape the world around us. Okay, so check this out. The standard translation calls usadana exalting and apasadana disparaging. And that's fine, I guess, but they're kind of abstract, right? But when we use our niruti lens, everything changes. The root of usadana literally means to pile up, like you're stacking bricks. And apasadana, that means to tear down or to deconstruct. And just like that, the advice isn't some vague moral guideline anymore. It's a physical, visual question you can ask yourself. Are my words building this person up, brick by brick, or am I actually tearing them down? It's such a powerful image to keep in your head, isn't it? Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. The text itself actually gives us instructions on how to understand language. It's like it's handing us the key to its own code, which, of course, brings us to our second point. The sutta says, and this is a direct quote, not to be dogmatic about regional dialects. I mean, how incredibly modern is that? It's basically saying, hey, don't get so hung up on your way of saying things being the only right way. It's a warning against being a language bully. And to make this point, it uses the simplest example ever, a bowl. It says, in one place, people call it a pati. Somewhere else, it's a patan or a vitan. They're all just different labels for the exact same thing. The object itself doesn't change. So the crucial point the code is showing us here is that what really matters is shared understanding, not being technically correct. It doesn't matter what you call the bowl, as long as we both know we're talking about the bowl. It's about connection, not about winning some pointless argument over words. Okay, so let's take these clues, this idea of building people up, not tearing them down, and focusing on understanding, and see how it all comes together to unlock the meaning of the title of the text itself. This is the final reveal. So right at the heart of the title is this Pali root word, rana. And rana means battle. It means conflict, war. It can also mean that loud, clashing, horrible sound of a battle. This is the problem state, the thing we're trying to solve. Now, in Pali, just like in English with words like atypical, you can flip the meaning of a word with a simple prefix. And that prefix is a. It just means no or without. And boom, there it is, the big reveal. Arana literally means no battle, no conflict. The goal isn't just some passive idea of peace. It's an active, intentional state of being without battle, without all that internal and external noise. So the sutta basically lays out two different paths for us. There's the path of sarana, which means with battle. That's where you find the tearing down, the harsh speech, the rigid thinking. And then there's the path of adharana, or no battle, building people up, being flexible, and really trying to understand. So, after this whole 2,500-year-old linguistic deep dive, what does it actually mean for us, right here, right now? Why does any of this matter?
Well, the biggest takeaway is this. This whole thing isn't just a strategy to have fewer arguments at work or at the dinner table. It's actually a roadmap for creating an internal state of no bottle. It's about having a mind that isn't at war with itself or with the world, a mind that chooses to build up, not tear down.
So I'll just leave you with this one question, straight from the ancient code we've unlocked together. Just think about your week ahead. What's one battle, one argument, one little conflict, big or small, that you can consciously choose not to fight?